What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Hopefully, everybody is doing very well, blessed, favored. If you're not, you need to know that. You need to accept it, for real. But that's how I'm doing. I'm grateful, I'm thankful. Glad to be back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about how life is like an iceberg. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, okay, well, let me be a little bit more specific. Physical reality is like an iceberg, right? And what I mean by that is there is only a small part that we see, but oftentimes we think it's the whole thing. We think it's the total. We think it's everything. We think we're seeing everything. In reality, we're only seeing a small portion, a small fraction of what's really going on. And I feel like that's very powerful to keep in mind, and it's powerful to understand, because there's so much more to life, and there's so much more going on that we can even see and we can even comprehend and imagine. And there's a lot going on in the background that we're not really aware of, we're not always conscious of, but we gotta keep that in mind, because when we are going through problems, when we are going through rough periods, rough seasons, we are going through loss, when we are going through periods of mourning or periods of struggle, we need to always understand that there's something coming our way. There's always something coming our way. In the season where things are smooth, there's something coming your way. In the season where things are rough, there's something coming your way. And we always got to be open and receptive to that, and just remember that, and not forget that what we're seeing right now, it's not everything. It's not the total package. It's not the end all be all. What we're seeing is just a fraction, just a small percentage of what's really going on. And when you think like that, when you see the world like that, when you see things like that, when you see your life like that, it always gives you more hope. It gives you more, it helps you be more patient, and it helps you be more faithful, honestly, because if I look back on my life and I reflect on everything that I've been through, and those seasons where I was really stressed out, those seasons where I was super broke and didn't know where my money was going to come from, those seasons where I didn't know how things was going to turn out, I didn't know how certain things was going to turn out, and if things was going to turn out in my favor, if I was going to be dealt a bad hand, if I was going to be in a situation where I'll have to be paying too much money, or in a situation where I might be in some serious trouble, right? If I took a step back, I would have realized that there's really nothing to worry about, because God always got me. God always got me. He always shows up for me, and there's really nothing I ever have to worry about. Always when I look back, no matter what I've been through, things always turn out amazing, to where you can look back and it's like, damn, I didn't even have to worry. I didn't even have to stress one bit. I didn't have to have any type of fear, any type of doubt. I just had to stay true to the process, stay the course, keep going, keep taking it step by step, day by day, and I would have been to where I am right now without any worry. The worry is not necessary. The worry is not necessary. The fear is forgetting that energy can always be rearranged. And we can't worry and pray at the same time. Just like I was talking about in one of my last videos, we can't worry and pray. We can't pray and be thanking God for having what we want and knowing that it's already done, and worrying about it at the same time. We can only do one or the other. So for me, I choose faith, I choose trust, I choose seeing things in the correct way, seeing things in a way where I'm not gonna be forgetting the whole other 98% of the equation, the whole other unseen part of reality that aren't visible to my physical eyes, but they're visible to my spiritual eye, you know? And that's when intuition comes in, that's when faith comes in, that's when trusting the process, trusting the unseen. We gotta understand that we're always being pushed and we're always being guided and we're always being helped by the unseen forces, by the unseen force. And when we forget that, we can really get locked into what's going on in physical reality, what's going on in front of us. We can get locked into what the bank account is looking like. We can get locked into worrying where our next food gonna come from. We can get locked into how we gonna pay these bills. How am I gonna pay this and this? All these things are stacking up on me, right? We can get locked into a lot of things, just like I talked about on one of my previous videos about how I didn't know where my money was gonna come from. I had to pay for my plane ticket. I had 2 days left to have the money. I met this lady. She told me she'll pay the balance. She told me she sent me the remaining 500 that I needed. I didn't know where it was gonna come from, but I had faith in the unseen. What I was seeing in front of me, I was only seeing 2 days left with no hundreds that I needed. I had hundreds of dollars left. At that time, I wasn't really being super creative. I wasn't really producing anything for myself at that time, so I didn't really know where it was gonna come from. I couldn't see where it was gonna come from. And that's why I'm saying we have to trust the unseen, because a lot of times when we do go through experiences like that, when we do go through experiences where we can't see how things are gonna work out, and we can't really conceptualize how things are gonna turn out for us, that is a season for us to really buckle down on our faith, really double down and really lean into our faith for real. And that's a season where God has proven to us and he's showing to us, hey man, if you be faithful, I got you. Just watch. If you continue believing up until the last moment where you don't really know how you're gonna get what you're gonna get or what you wanna get, but you know it's already done, it's done. And whatever you need, it happens exactly like you needed to happen, better than you needed to happen, better than you could have ever even imagined. That's how things go. That's how life goes. That's the power of faith. Faith is the most powerful thing. Faith is the most powerful thing, but that's why it's also one of the most difficult things to do. It's one of the most difficult things to express and to act on, and it's one of the most difficult states to be in, because when we really do lean into it, it's the most powerful thing we can ever do. But it's so easy to worry in today's world. It's so easy to stress. It's so easy to only focus on what we see in front of us and focus on what we don't have instead of focusing on what we do have. Faith is knowing that you have it already. Faith is remaining focused, having that laser focus on what you have, knowing that you have it, knowing that it's yours, knowing that it's in your hands, feeling it in your hands, not questioning, not wondering, not needing to know the exact plan and all the steps for how you're gonna get what you desire. Nah, faith is knowing and feeling good about it and feeling not grateful. I was about to say gracious, feeling grateful about it already. And that's why it's the most powerful, because it's very easy to be stuck in the fear. It's very easy to be worried. It's super worried. It's very easy to be anxious. It's very easy to not know where the next thing is gonna come from. But the birds don't worry about it, and they get everything they need. The animals don't worry like we do, man. They have their worry, like prey, for example. They have their times of worry, and they use it to get them out. They use them to get them away from the predator, fight or flight, you know. But for us, we stay worried. We continue to conceptualize worry and the fear and the worst possible outcome over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and we be stuck in that. And it makes us feel bad. And we feel less than, and we feel like we're hopeless, and we feel like we don't have the answers. We feel like there's no possible way we can get what we want, because we don't even know where it's gonna come from. We don't even know where to begin. We begin with faith, though. Gabby, what? Damn. All right, we begin with faith. Man, my bad. We begin with faith. We'll be good. We'll be perfect. That's where we have to begin. And that's where we have to end. And we have to understand that what we see is the tip of the iceberg. We're not seeing the full reality. 98% of reality is unseen. This little 2%, this is just the effect. What we're seeing is the effect of the cause. The cause is how we see things, how we feel about our life, how we feel about our thoughts, how we receive our thoughts, the worry, the anxiety, the faith, the trust. Those are the causes, and our life is the effect. The physical reality is our effect. We gotta remember, life is 98% unseen, 2% seen. There's so much more going on. There's so much more to life than we can imagine, that we can conceptualize, and we can understand. We gotta stay faithful. We gotta stay faithful. We gotta stay trustworthy, for sure. We have to stay balanced and centered and grounded in knowing that God got us. The most powerful forces are behind us. And when we forget that, that's when we stress. That's when we worry. That's when we feel bad. So that's all I got, y'all. Remember, life is like an iceberg. We're not seeing every single thing. We're not seeing the full package, the full expression, the full 100% of the details. We're not. But we can feel them. We can have faith. We can trust. We can trust. And that's the most powerful thing we can do, guys. So yeah, everybody, let me know some experience that y'all have had, or if y'all agree, disagree with what I'm saying, anything, talk to me, comment, interact, let me know. But apart from that, y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Be blessed. Remember that you're favored. Know that you're favored. And remain faithful, for sure. For sure. When you feel those worries, when you get one fearful thought, one worrisome thought, replace it with at least 25 to 50 faithful thoughts. Because we got to counteract. We have to start somewhere. We have to counteract these things that we've been so accustomed to doing so easily. Things that don't take us any effort, any energy to think about and to feel. We have to train ourselves in the opposite. We have to train ourselves to not react like that, so we can intentionally respond. That's it, y'all. Peace.